Hello and welcome to the Away Day Experience Show. My name's Sam.
And I'm Tom.
And on this show, it's all about chatting about the away day that AFC Bournemouth have last experienced. And Tom, the last one was a decent day, eh?
Yeah, it was. It was a good one. Once again, come back with the 3 points, which is always the main thing. But I think all in all, yeah, it was a good away day, wasn't it? And we've done well on the road so far, mate. So I'm just hoping these shows don't take too much of a tumble because it's been a good start, hasn't it?
It has. And what we're doing is we're talking about individual aspects of an away day, result aside, okay? So even though Bournemouth are winning away every time, apart from Norwich, we won't talk about that. Obviously, we could say each away day was brilliant, but we're not. We're going to not think about the football, but just think about a number of things. Before we tell you about the things we're rating it on, this is the current table at the moment. We've had 3 away days in the league. And we've got Forest and Birmingham City on decent and Hull City in the so-so category. Tom, before this match, Cardiff City, you've been before, right? What have your experiences been of it?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I've been, but I'm pretty sure the last 2 times I've been have been midweek. On Tuesday night or Wednesday night, I can't really remember. And that does change the dynamic of an away day, doesn't it? Because it's not an away day, it's an away night. But if we played in the Cup once, and in the league, we've had decent results there. But I've always felt it okay. But seems to be quite a variety of things to do in Cardiff because it's not right in the city centre, is it? The ground. No. There's options there. So so I think you can have, ourselves and then another kind of away fan can have quite a different experience potentially. But I've always quite liked it. It's a nice stadium and things like that. So it's definitely what I was looking forward to. It's not too far either, is it? Which always helps.
No, so we're going to be talking about the pre-match experience. We're going to be talking about the stadium and the staff. We'll talk about the concourse and facilities, the food and drink, the view from the seat, how much space you've got at your seat, and also the home fan decibel level as well. And I'm really interested to see what Tom has got to say about that. And look, you could be a Cardiff fan, you could be a fan of a club from the EFL. What can they do if they want to see more of this content, Tom?
I think first of all, while you're here, you might as well just like give it a like because you obviously you like what you see. So do that while you're here. Because then you click, move the mouse slightly, don't you? Just give it a little click, and then you might as well subscribe. I think if you hit that bell thing, then you'll know when there's the next show as well. So you don't even have to keep checking; it'll tell you.
Beautiful.
But yeah, we do it all the time. Don't we? All the away games to that. So even if you, like you say, if you've got one coming up on the road and you go into that game, you can see our thoughts on it, and if your team as well, and see how you rate and things like that. But we try and be as honest and unbiased as we can, don't we?
We will try to be unbiased. So yeah, this week it's Cardiff City. And firstly, it's time to talk about the pre-match experience. So what does that mean? That means getting to Cardiff, the ease of access to whereabouts we're going to park, the pubs all around. And Tom, we went in a place called Goal Football Centres, which is about a 10-minute walk from the ground. And it was an all right place to have a drink before the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was decent. There was we managed to get quite a lot of away fans in there, which always helps. So it was a nice little feel to it. And yeah, we parked there as well, didn't we? They offer you that if you book in advance and things like that. So I think we got a little voucher as well, didn't we, to get a drink at the bar, which is a nice touch. But yeah, it was easy to get to, nice, easy parking. And it was a nice little place, to be fair. It's difficult because it's not a, kind of traditional pub because it is more, like you say, like a complex, like a sports centre. There's a few little kind of pitches outside, isn't there, and little things. We didn't look into it too much, but I'm not sure if you can get kind of kids to go out there or if you have to book. But it's quite a nice little feel to it. You can go to sit outside. You've got enough room and inside as well. So yeah, it was all right, to be fair. I think it was it was decent. I was happy with it.
Yeah, me too. So basically it was £6 to park, but you got a £5 voucher with that. And also kids could play football for free. You just had to go to reception, grab a football, play on the pitches there, which are sort of like your Pelham's sized pitches, all in cages. So you can have a kick around, like goals there, etc. The range of beer was pretty good. The food, they did like hot dogs if you want to eat there as well. But, a reasonable range of alcohol. And look, there are other places to go, of course. The Pontcanna pub is also really popular for away fans as well, albeit a little bit quiet. Also got to say that if you're coming from in the city centre, obviously there's loads of places. So you can get off at Cardiff Central along St Mary Street. There's a plethora of bars and places you can visit. There's a couple of Wetherspoons. There's one just opposite the station called the Great Western. Go up a bit, you got the Prince of Wales. Loads of pubs there will welcome away fans, plus live sport as well. Where we went, there was live sport. But if you're coming off the coaches, you'll probably be directed to one of the places that we mentioned originally. And the place where we went, I found really reasonable. To be fair, a good turnout. What are your thoughts out of 10 rating the pre-match experience, Tom?
Yeah, I think we should go pretty high because, like you mentioned there is a variety in Cardiff as well. You could literally have a few away days and change it every time. So I think that's it. So I'm going to go quite high for that. I'm going to give it an 8, I think.
There we go. 8 out of 10. Absolutely loving your work there, Tej. Now, the stadium. Look, we always talk about soulless bowls and, we've been to many, but Cardiff's slightly different in it's got that kind of raised main stand. And it's a stadium where you could generate quite a good atmosphere. In terms of home atmosphere, we'll probably talk about that later. But in terms of getting to the ground, the ease of accessibility, the sort of stadium design itself, what were your thoughts on it? I mean, it's kind of much of a muchness, really, but it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's it's pretty standard, but it's a nice stadium, like you say. It's quite easy where we were to get to the ground. I felt quite easy to do all that. It seemed pretty easy. It's a nice stadium. I remember last time I went, I sat at the side, so I don't know if something's changed there. I sat at the side of the pitch rather than behind the goal. So I don't know if they've changed that or it depends on capacity, or mine was a cup game, so that might have changed it. But yeah, it's a nice stadium. I'd say it's probably middle of the road, if not a little bit better in the Championship for the ones you can get. So yeah, it was all in all, I think the stadium's nice, everything about it, easy to get there. So yeah, no qualms with that really.
And once again, we've teamed up with Access Advisor, who, through Rob Trent here, has provided some video footage of his day. They park in the car park and the journey to the stadium is really clear. Smooth pavements all the way, huge doors to get in. You go through the AFCB concourse with the AFCB fans, and then it's really simple to get into the stadium as well. And once you're through the main doors, you are right there. And as you can see, it's not a bad view, slightly above pitch level, got to say. Rob said the stewards are absolutely superb there. They were really friendly, and the view was, whilst it is quite low, was actually pretty good. At half time, he found it really nice that he could go through his own fans, because at Nottingham Forest, you had to go through a concourse that had away fans there, which wasn't so good. But once you went in there, there are 2 accessible toilets there, really spacious, looked really good in terms of the facilities there, and he rated it really, really good, and a big hat tip to the staff there. So fair play to Cardiff City in terms of that. But Tom, your stadium rating out of 10?
I think we got to go pretty solid. I'm going to go 7. I'll go 7.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
There we go then. 7. Right, concourse and facilities. I always love a good concourse, and I mean, what can you say about concourses, really? But we'll also talk about the facilities too. Now, sometimes you're queuing for absolutely ages to go to the toilet, but I found that Cardiff City, they had their toilets like on the far side as you came out the concourse, and there were loads available at all times. And look, this is with us having sold 1,600 tickets, so you think there might have been a bit of a queue. No queues whatsoever. Good, clean facilities, plenty full numbers of cubicles for men and also for women as well, by the sounds of it. And I found it quite all right down there, just bog standard, eh?
Yeah, pretty good. No qualms, like I say again. Pretty easy to get a beer and that. I'm trying to think. I think they had a nice range of different options as well in terms of drinks and food, which is always nice. Like you say, toilets, that was easy. I don't remember ever being down there and thinking, oh, come on. It was quite well run, stuff and all that was all good down there.
Well, mate, we must have loved the concourse given how long we stayed down there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'll tell you what, if you're like Sam and I and you miss the goal because you're down there too near, just after half time, it's handy when they got the telly on because they had the game. And it was, I'll tell you what, it was nearly spot on, wasn't it? We heard the cheer and next minute the goal went in. Yeah. So it was quite, so that is handy for, I mean, it shouldn't be handy, but, we were poor. We were down there longer than we thought. I remember afterwards thinking they must have scored a minute after half time. They didn't. We scored quite a while after, but we obviously liked it down there, like you say. So, yeah, I can't really moan. So, yeah, it's got to do well, I think.
Yeah, nice to generate atmosphere there. What's the score out of 10?
I'm going to go 8.
Solid. Tom goes for an 8. Absolutely superb. And, closely linked, Tom's just briefly spoke about the food and drink. Queues to get food, not so bad. Cardiff Facilities down there. A number of options. Simon K, you can see here, was loving his curry pie. And Tom, what I quite liked was that the plastic beer cups had lids on them. That's quite a sort of innovative thing. I've not really seen that at a football ground before, but it just means you can kind of get through the crowd, even if it is really busy, knowing that you're not going to spill your beer and find your place. And hey presto, you've got a full pint rather than a half a pint at the end.
Yeah, no, simple things, isn't it? Simple, easy things like that, like a lid that just no ground seems to do it. So nice touch, like you say. And yeah, like I briefly mentioned, they seem to have good options, good variety there, and it was quick and easy. And yeah, the food itself, I had a hot dog, pretty good. It's hard to get an amazing hot dog or a really bad hot dog at the football grounds. There's never much in it, but it was fine. It was nice, and the beer was all right. Obviously, took me a while to sit through it if I was there for 10 minutes after the half started. But yeah, no, all good again, mate. Good again. Can't complain.
We were too busy chatting, mate, and I'm just checking my Monzo now. I somehow spent 36 quid at half time. How the hell did I do that?
We obviously liked it down there, mate. So we've got to go strong, haven't we? Because that's the pudding there. I don't know how you done that. You obviously got one in for the boys. So cheers for that, sir.
Yeah, what's it going to be out of 10 then?
I'm going to go 8 again because there's no real problems with it. So I'm going to say 8.
Brilliant. 8 for food and drink. Right, the view. And let's talk about the seats as well. Sometimes when you shuffle across, it seems like really, really narrow. I mean, at Dean Court in the North Stand, I think we must have some of the narrowest seats, in terms of the distance to the seat in front, like seat behind, etc. But this, I didn't really feel that. Obviously, during away games, most of us stand, but I found the view really good. And look, because we had the whole tier, you can be right at the front or you could be right at the back, so you had a good range of views from where we were, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think from our point of view, we were nearer the back, weren't we? And it was we had quite a nice view. I thought you done well there with the tickets. I thought we had a nice view. And like I said previously, I've been at the side and I never found that. I love being behind a goal, so that was nice because I wasn't sure, to be honest, because I've been at the side before. But yeah, again, it is a good view. It is a good view. Yeah, we got the atmosphere and that going back there, and like you say, it's quite roomy. Sometimes at some places you can feel a little bit enclosed, or you don't feel like you're too far apart from other fans. But it's bang on again, mate. So they're doing all right at the moment. But I was happy with the view.
Go on then, out of 10.
I have to go 8 again. I'm bored of my own voice. But to be fair, got the 8 again, I think.
So mate, I have to listen to it all the bloody time. But fair enough. You know what? I think you're spot on there. Right. One thing I wanted to be bored of was the home fan loudness, because that would indicate that they were having a whale of a time. But look, it's so difficult to gauge, I suppose, when your team is getting dominated. However, for the first 10 minutes, they were all right, weren't they, Cardiff? And, they had a half a chance that I think it was offside in the end, but Cahill sort of hit his own post, or Travers cleared wide. As it happened, it didn't really amount to much anyway. But other than that, didn't see much of the home fans or hear about them. All I saw were 2 bum cheeks from some guy in the stand opposite who was making a charade of himself.
Yeah, they had a little Mooney, which was good fun. But honestly, we've got to almost give like a bit of a disclaimer that this is on our away day, right? Because there's no way they can be like that every home game. There's no way. I cannot remember a song. I can't remember a song. And like you said, everything, put into question. We were, even though it was only 1-0, we were quite comfortable in the game. They didn't really have any chances. So that obviously helps ourselves and not the home. They didn't have much cheer about. I'm trying to give them a bit of credit, but I was embarrassed for them. They didn't sing. I honestly cannot remember a song at all. The loudest I remember them was when we brought Jamal Lowe on, ex-Swansea, so they booed him. That was the loudest I remember them. And then after the game, where they had they're a bit mouthy after the game and talking about, England not winning the cup final. So that's literally, I remember them unveiling an Italy flag and then a couple of bum cheeks and a few boos when we bought a sub. I was really, you never really mind when you're there because you have a bit of a laugh with it and it means you're doing well normally if they're quiet. But afterwards you think, I quite like it when you have a bit more banter going in the stadium and they're, as well. And to be fair, I'm happy to say that I don't think we're the best. I don't think you'll see if you go back to our previous shows, it's hard to get that atmosphere going in a home stadium sometimes, and everyone's loving it on the road, aren't they? So and we are with all our fans, so we seem really loud, etc., etc. But they were definitely the poorest this season by a long way. And I was disappointed with them. Like I say, I like having a bit of banter back and forth, and they just didn't give us anything apart from bum cheeks. So it's really, I was actually really disappointed. It'll be interesting to see other away fans and stuff when they go there. If it was a one-off, I'd like to think so, because Cardiff ain't exactly known to be poor. Do you know what I mean in that aspect? So and I've had better experiences before, but on the day, it's all we can rate it on, and they were awful.
Go on then, out of 10.
I'm going to be really harsh, but we saw a pair of bum cheeks. That's all I'm giving them. 2.
2. And look, there was more to be seen outside the stadium than there was inside, as Tom said. And look, we were trying to get some atmosphere and trying to goad them, and there were some friendly chants, and it turned into a bit of a scuffle outside on the road. And you know what? There is video footage of it, but it was a bunch of sort of tracky clad teenagers that must have been like doing their SATs age, whatever that is, like 13, 14, kind of, do you know, like Line of Duty in the Borough Grove estate where you had the kids on the estate there? It kind of reminded me of that. And you know, they got their burner phone, calling their parents or their friends, trying to give it the big guns, and not really doing that. They sort of let themselves down with that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We had a good time, and it didn't deflect from the fact that Bournemouth came away victorious. But most Cardiff fans, got to say, absolutely brilliant, really friendly. Met Dylan in the bar beforehand at goal. He was a great lad, and also met a couple of fans afterwards as well, and who were absolutely superb to chat to. So yeah, nothing but love for the Cardiff fans. And but there were a few that indicated that this Cardiff Millwall rivalry, whatever that is, you could sort of see little tinges of that. And look forward to seeing that match later on this season. So then, Tom, comes to the main rating now. But before we do that, let's take in what other people have said on Twitter, including Richard Jackson, who said the pub was quiet but very good. He went to the Ponte Cana. Good stadium, he said. A good sized concourse and large toilets as well, which echoes what we said. He said the range of food and drink in the pub was very good. He had a good view from his seat. And he said more bare lard arse, in brackets, one fan than loud. Yeah, excellent. Okay, ball ache to get to, said Robbie. Yeah, if you come in from on foot from the city centre, you've got to walk through an industrial estate. It's like a 25-minute walk, so it's not particularly great. A lot of people will get Ubers there, but it's not the most pleasant of walk. You've got to sort of walk through Grangetown and other areas to get there, which is okay. Like, not worse than Boscombe by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not a great walk, and especially if you had a few beers, it probably could last longer than that. He said poor home atmosphere. He said the pub that he went to, which was the Ponte Cana, had Beavertown neck oil on draft. Excellent choice there, Robbie. Said good catering and beers in the ground, a spacious concourse, good view, and home fans, he said, were poor. James Whitehurst also said that the car parking at Stadium didn't take card, so had to walk a mile to the Asda, but then he went to buy a programme and they didn't take cash. Different departments, apparently. Oh, my God, James, I fear for you, mate. Stadium, the staff were pleasant. He said the roof was a bit high, but that's all modern stadium nowadays. Sometimes it's quite difficult to contain an atmosphere when you've got such a high roof. I think that Bournemouth did ourselves justice, and even a lot of Cardiff fans were praising how loud we were as well, and what a good turnout we had. And then his last point was the home fans were there. Yeah. Know the feeling. So then, Tom, we're going to bring up the tier list then, and then we're going to ask you to position where you believe they should go. You've got yes, lads, and you know what that means. That's a superb away day that you can't afford to miss. And then you've got all the categories that go down to absolute dog. Where are you putting this one, mate?
It's really difficult, isn't it? Because I think they were consistently very, very good, apart from that home fan loudness, which was really, really poor. Yeah, I think all in all, I like the fact that there's, variety as well. I think if you've got loads of time and you're happy to walk or jump in a cab or something, you can have a really, good kind of play around in the city centre and see what you want. But if you're, like ourselves and want to get in the pub early and just walk down, then I recommend the Goal Centre as well. But I like the fact they got variety. You can have a completely different away day. I don't want to rate 2 down on the home fan loudness, because it is a good away day. It's difficult. They're better than Hull, definitely better than Hull. which was in so-so. I don't think they're as good as the other two in decent, but they're just enough to get in decent for me. If I was putting them in order, they'd be third, but they'd be in decent. I'm going to stick with that. Decent.
Cardiff City, decent away day. There you go. What are you thinking at home? Have we been unfair? Have we been horrible about your club? If so, we apologise, but we can only take it as we see it. And once again, certain caveats that we always need to add in. It's interesting that, Birmingham City, that was on a Tuesday night, but we've still gone for decent. So we're trying to leave certain biases at the door because midweek games, we don't tend to have that much time to have a drink beforehand. But Cardiff, I think, very well done with that. I think decent. It's going to be really interesting to see what's yes, lads. Maybe one of those games will be around the corner. Tom, are you looking forward to the next one? Peterborough away?
I am, mate, yeah. And just want to say to Cardiff fans quickly, if they're watching, if they got an atmosphere going, they would have been close to yes, lads, because it is if we've just gone through it there, and it's an all-round really good away day, isn't it? So,
brilliant.
Yeah, get it pumping. But yeah, Peterborough, yeah, really looking forward to that. I've been once, but it was so long ago, when we were both in the lower leagues. Long time ago, Fletcher was up top, so it was a long time ago, mate. But yeah, really looking forward to that one.
Well, back in BC?
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, another midweek one, but they're kind of new to the league. So I feel like they'll get it going a little bit. They're going to be scrapping all season, aren't they, down near at the bottom, Peterborough? They know that.
Sorry, mate. Keep going.
I think they're going to be scrapping near the bottom this season. So they know they're going to have to be that kind of 12th man. So I've got a feeling it might be a good atmosphere, be a good game. So I'm really looking forward to it. I look forward to every away game, but nice one to break the week up as well. So I'm looking forward to Peterborough, definitely.
That was a bit of an allergic reaction because you mentioned the Welsh there, but it's okay. It's past now. It's all good. Yeah, so looking forward to the next ones. And yeah, as I said, let us know in the comments what you think. But from myself, Sam and Tom, we'll see you on the next one. Up the cherries.
Up the cherries.